Hello, my name is Deshri. I'm from the Portland area. This will be my third year here at SOU. I'm an honors college student studying psychology, criminology, and art. A couple ground rules before we start. Feel free to ask questions. This is a time for you to learn about the resources available to students, and let me know if I'm walking too fast. So before we get started, I'd like to recognize the tribal land that we are on, the Shasta, Takelma, and Klamath tribes. Alrighty, so Ashland is home to about 20,000 residents, but we get about 350,000 visitors annually. That is largely attributed to the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, a world-renowned theater festival that runs for about 9 months out of the year. It is usually situated in downtown Ashland, which is also next to Lithia Park, a 93-acre park that has a lot of mountain bike access and runner trails. There are also about 60 unique restaurants here in Ashland, and we also have about half the rain that Portland gets, so about 20 inches, 200 sunny days a year, and less than 10 inches of snow per year. Behind me is our Third Eye Theater, and it is part of the many sculptures and art pieces that are surrounding campus. We have about 1% of our budget that goes solely to art around campus. Behind me is the Stevenson Union, also called the SU. It is kind of the hub of activity for students, whether it be before class, between classes, or after class. Students can come here and purchase textbooks. They can also rent them or purchase them digitally online if that is more convenient for them. We can also purchase school supplies like art supplies or lab coats from the bookstore. There are also a lot of food options here at the SU, from Elmo's and then our Einstein bagels, so you can get to-order burgers, sushi, vegetarian options, as well as coffee, kombucha, etc. Behind me is the Stevenson Union. Unfortunately, we cannot get into it right now, but normally you would take your group into the SU and point out the multiple resource centers that we have upstairs, like the Women's Resource Center, Veterans Resource Center, Multicultural Resource Center, Queer Resource Center, and our Student Sustainability Center. We also have a student government located here that students can get involved in. We also have a study abroad and international office that you can go and purchase a passport at, or get in contact with people who can help you study abroad, or go to the 200 schools that we can study at throughout the US and in other countries. And we also have about 60 plus clubs here at SOU, like a chemistry club, a criminology club, a Hawaii club. And if you do not see a club that you're interested in, it only takes a couple of students and one faculty member for you to be able to start a club for whatever you want to do. Alrighty, so behind me is our education and psychology building. You won't be taking your tour group all the way down there, so you'll stop roughly between the SU and the music building, and then just talk about it from here. Our Ed Psych program, both of those are separate majors, but they tie for second place for the most popular majors here at SOU. The education program has a licensure built into it, so when you complete your 4-year degree or 3-year degree, if you're doing an accelerated program, you will have a licensure in teaching. There's also a preschool located behind the building that teaches 3 to 5-year-olds, and students and faculty can take their kids there. We also have graduate programs for both education and psychology that range from 1 year to 2 years, and you can get a master's in teaching or a master's in clinical psych. So behind me is our music building. It has a nationally acclaimed music recital hall, so you can drop a pin from one side and hear it all the way from the other side. There are about 20 musical groups that students can join, and you do not need to be a music major to join them. Some of those groups are a cappella groups and other groups like band or can't remember any other ones, that's fine. We also have practice rooms in there that students can get an access key, and they can go 24/7, so if you want to play your trumpet at 2 in the morning and not make everyone on your floor mad, that would be the route to go down. There are also private music lessons that you can get with professors, and we also have scholarships for music students. So behind me is our theater building. It was renovated in 2018 and has a main stage and a black box stage. The main stage is where you're going to see musicals, and a black box is a little bit smaller, a little more intimate, and for non-musicals. We have about 6 shows every year, and they are student-led, student-produced, and student-directed. We also have very close ties to the Oregon Shakespeare Festival, and students who are completing their BFA in theater oftentimes have the opportunity to take on internships with the OSF program. Located behind me is Taylor Hall. It is home to economics, political science, Native American studies, criminology, sociology and anthropology, and history. Our anthropology and sociology department has an anthropology lab located inside, and our criminology department also hosts an annual lock-in where students can meet with professionals within their desired career field.
So I'm just going to spit some numbers at you about SOU. We have about 6,000 students, about 5,000 are undergrad, and only about 1,000 live on campus. Our average class size is 26 with a student to staff ratio of 1 to 26. However, that's not to say that your classes might vary to be a little bit larger or even as small as I had a class with 7 people in it. So they get to be quite tiny at some times. So we have 37 majors. However, we have over 100 different areas of study that you can check out when you come to SOU in the terms of certificates, specifics within the majors, minors, etc. Just to tell you a little bit about some of the scholarship opportunities that we do have on campus. If you are part of the 14 states on the West Coast, we are a part of the WUI program, so your tuition is going to be 150% of what in-state tuition is, which makes it super, super affordable, which is really awesome. And then we also have something called the Jack and Joe Promise, or the Jackson County and Josephine Promise, where if you're coming straight out of high school, you can graduate in 3 years, as well as it comes with a pretty hefty scholarship that takes off about $3,000 a year. And then the last scholarship opportunity that we have is called the North State Promise. So if you come from a county that is north of Red Bluff, you get to receive in-state tuition. So over on this side of our computer science building, we have our IT help desk. So if you have any software issues, they're a really great resource to get free computer assistance. As well as we have our Rader Student Services. So if you have questions ranging from needing something from the registrar to enrolling for classes to financial aid, anything like that, those are the people that you go to talk to, and they're a really, really great resource. And then the last thing that we have on the side of the building is we do have an equipment checkout. So if you need to check out speakers for an event, microphones, anything like that, you can go over there and check those out for the day.
Another thing here to talk about is our computer science program. While your classes will be held all around campus for computer science, one thing to note is your professors, a lot of their offices are located right over here. Another great thing about our computer science program, it is software focused, so you'll be working on programs. There's also a great hybrid degree between computer science and math. So if you're interested in both of those subjects, you can do a hybrid degree.
So our Jackson and Josephine County Pledge are going to be specifically for local students. However, if you're from anywhere else, you do have the opportunity to apply to our Accelerated Baccalaureate program, where you can graduate in 3 years. About half of our majors qualify, and you get additional support to make sure that you're on the right track for graduating early. This building right behind me is going to be the science building. It was a really large renovation not too long ago, which means that we have state-of-the-art equipment inside this building. Classes are also not taught by graduate students, they're taught by professors themselves with PhDs, so you're getting some quality learning here. And then inside this building, we also have our largest lecture on campus. It's going to be about 110 students or so. However, those are generally going to be only for those beginning mandatory science lectures. However, they are often broken down into lab classes, which are back down to about that 26 student average. The professors are really good about walking around in those lectures, engaging with students, and the labs really help to reinforce some of the concepts that you're learning in class.
So our science building is home to our biology, chemistry, and environmental science and policy majors. Our STEM students have had a great track record getting into their graduate programs for pre-professional programs like pre-med or pre-optometry. They've gotten to prestigious universities such as Duke and Berkeley. We also have a cadaver lab available for first-year students to use to see if they really want to go down a medical route, and a taxidermy laboratory as well. We also have ties to the U.S. National Fish and Wildlife Forensics Laboratory that the environmental students have access to, and it is one of the only ones of its kind, which is a really great opportunity for students.
So this building right behind me, which is Central Hall, it's in the center of campus, is going to be home to our largest major on campus, which is going to be business. There are 4 different concentrations that you can study within business. That is going to be hospitality and tourism management, marketing, management, as well as accounting. So you can decide within those disciplines which one you would like to focus on. We also have 8 certificates within the School of Business, such as an HR management certificate, and those are going to be interdisciplinary, and you can study within a couple different majors in order to receive that certificate. Upstairs, we have our foreign language lab. So if you need a little extra help with your foreign language, that's a really great place to go and get free tutoring by your peers. Or if you really excel in a foreign language, that's an excellent paid position on campus. We have quite a few paid positions on campus here at SOU. But we do offer 5 languages at SOU. The first one is going to be Spanish, which is the only one that you can major and minor in addition to American Sign Language, French, German, and Japanese. We also have our math department housed in this building. Sometimes students will go on the track of doing a computer science and mathematics combination major, which is an option here. And the last program that we have within this building is going to be our English department.
Here's the Hannon Library. Usually would be right inside at the center, which then I would be able to point out the beautiful art on the ground. So the first thing about that piece is called Resonance and Dispersion. It was made by 2 American artists in Italy, and it's shipped back here piece by piece to be put together by SOU students. A few fun facts about that piece of art, which I love sharing on tours, is if you stand in the center, you're the only person who can hear your own echo. So I love giving everyone else on the tour a chance to do that. Also, if there are bigger groups, you also can mention there were 2 dolphins hidden in the piece, so it gives them a chance to look around, spend a bit more time looking in the library. A few other things to mention about the library is we have a computer lab, which is right around the corner. It has both Macs and PCs and whatever programs you might need to do work for your classes. We also have a tutoring center located in the library, which is free for students. You can drop in or also by appointment if you want. It's the Math and Science Center and also the Writing Center. This is a great place to go if you want tutoring by your peers. Also, if you excel in any of these subjects, it's a great place for on-campus employment. A few other things we offer here at the library is there's a textbook checkout program. So if a textbook is over $75 in the bookstore, you can check it out at the front desk here in the library for 2 hours. You can do whatever you want, take notes, scan pages, you just cannot leave the library with the textbook. We also have Summit and Interlibrary Loan, which is basically if you find a book online you want to use for paper or something for class, but it's not offered here at SOU, you can get it sent here from about 33 libraries in the US that we have access to, and you can use that for whatever purposes you need it for. Another thing about the library is right over here we have Southern Grounds, which is another place for on-campus food if you're interested in that. There are 2 places inside, Herbert's and Gerbert's, which is a sandwich shop, and then also the Human Bean, which is a coffee shop. A few more things to mention about the library is we do have study rooms located upstairs. Those are group study rooms that you can check out online or also reserve them at the front desk. We also have the nation's largest collection of Shakespeare and Renaissance works. We have over 8,000 volumes, which I think is really interesting. Another thing in the library is you're able to check out laptops or Chromebooks here. You can check out laptops for 4 hours and Chromebooks up to 3 days. Throughout the tour, you might have seen some of these blue light systems around campus. They're around most of the buildings here on campus, and it's a safety precaution. Ashland is a very safe town, and SU is a very safe campus, but if for whatever reason you're feeling unsafe, if you have a night class and don't want to walk home alone, or any situation, you can go up to them. We'll have Campus Security's number, and you can call them, and they have a very quick response time. They'll be with you within a few minutes. They're able to walk you back to your residence halls or escort you up to a mile off of campus. Throughout the tour, you might have seen some of these blue light systems. They're around most of the buildings here on campus. This is a safety precaution. Ashland is a very safe town. SU is a very safe campus. But if you feel unsafe for any reason, if you have a night class and don't want to walk home alone or any situation, you can press the button on there. It has the phone number for campus public safety, and they'll be with you within a few minutes response time. And if a situation escalates in any reason, for whatever reason, we have very close ties with the Ashland Police Department, and they can help with that situation. The campus public safety is also able to walk you back to your residence halls or escort you up to a mile off of campus. Right above us is Suzanne Homes. That is the home to our honors college. This is a more rigorous curriculum for students. They accept to about 20 to 25 freshmen every year. Transfer students are allowed to join if they have under 30 credits. 30 transfer credits. You get an honors diploma. Also, it is a separate application from the regular SU application. If you are accepted into the program, there are financial scholarships. Another program that's located up in Suzanne Homes is the McNair program. This is a federally funded grant program for students who are looking into going to graduate school, and they help assist you with the process of applying and affording it.